Let's see. Okay. Again, welcome. Let me just allow to share my screen. And can somebody just confirm that you see the presentation?
Yes, we see it.
We can.
Yes, I see it also.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, as I mentioned, welcome everybody. This is the first InfoDay session for the open call. Here we will address two of the use cases, but more on that in a second. I would just like to point out a couple of housekeeping rules so that this runs smoothly, because we are very tight on the schedule. So turn your microphones down, switch off your cameras, and also the session will be recorded and it will be sent to you. So you will be able to come back to it if you wish so. As well, this presentation, we will also share it with you. If you have any questions along the way, you can always post them in the chat. I will have my colleagues try to answer those who can. And if we miss some, we will kind of gather them and publish them in the FAQ document, which will be also available on the website for you to come back to. We will also have a designated time at the end of the session for Q&As, but a lot of people have a lot of questions, so if we don't manage, don't be afraid that your question will be lost. That's about it, and the agenda is going to look like this. So we are in the welcome and overview section right now, where me and Akis, the coordinator of the PQ React project, are going to say a few words about the general overview of the project. And then we're going to go into presentations of the use cases for today. So first one will be the use case number 3, Context Agility Manager, and the second one will be use case number 4, Eclipse Qrisp for PQC. And then at the end, I am also going to go into presenting the platform for the applications, because I think it will help you, to overcome all these challenges that you might possibly have. And then we will have the Q&A session. Yeah, so without further ado, the overview of the project, I will just ask Akis if you can say a few words.
Thank you very much, Maya, for the introduction and for the great organization of this event. So I'm Eclipse Qrisp, project coordinator of PQ React. I'm a National Center for Scientific Research Demokritos in Greece is coordinating this wonderful project. We are a divergent group from we have quite the majority from the south of Europe, but we also have partners from the northernmost part. We include academia, industry, and different companies, smaller and larger. And our main aim is to try to validate post-quantum cryptography algorithms in various pilot and industrial scenarios, and also exploit them and leverage them through the open call that we are currently organizing and managing. Also in this session, we will also present one of the pilots of the open call that Demokritos is coordinating. So I'm more than happy to discuss furthermore on the technical details. Thank you, Maya.
Okay, thank you, Akis. And we are here gathering because we opened the first open call titled Develop, and it's a call for applicants. At the same time, I just want to make a remark that we are running open call for evaluators, but we are not going to go into details about that. Please visit our website. You will find it under Apply buttons. We welcome anyone, applicants or evaluators. Everybody is welcome to join us on board. So the open call for applicants is going to be open, or is open now, for about a month. It's going to last another month, altogether 2 months. And the deadline for applications is at the end of September, as you might have already seen. On 30th of September at 5 Central Eastern Time. We are coordinating the open call. So we also offer some technical support or any kind of support that you might have regarding the applications. You have the help desk email written here, and don't hesitate to contact us there. And we will try to accommodate your needs. So rough timeline. For 2 months, the call is going to be open, so it's August, September. Then we will take 1 month approximately for the evaluation. Evaluation will be happening in several stages. So the first step is the eligibility check. You have all the supporting documents about the eligibility criteria and the evaluation process in the guidelines that are available for download on the website. So feel free to scroll there and download the documents and really read the guidelines. I cannot recommend the reading of guidelines enough. So after the eligibility check, which will be done internally by Spluro, we will then give your applications to 2 external evaluators. So these evaluators will be chosen also via the open call. And they are going to be independent from the consortia, because we want to have really non-biased evaluation, so that we really get the best candidates on board. And then those who will pass the external evaluation and will have the highest score will have to undergo the legal validation, which means that not all of you who will apply will have to do that, but only those who will be selected, potentially selected. And then if they pass the legal validation, then we will sign the sub-grantee agreement, with the Demokritos. And after the signature, you can start on executing the use cases, which approximately we are calculating it will start at the beginning of December and will last for 6 months, more or less. The available budget is 300,000 euros per open call. So this is the budget for this call, and we will select maximum of 6 use cases, meaning that this will result in 50,000 euros per use case. So if you apply, this is going to be the budget that you will receive. Eligibility criteria, I mentioned a little bit before, but you also have all of this information in the guidelines. So we only accept single entity applications, meaning that only 1 application per SME. And for those who come from academia, if you are from a research center or university, keep in mind that we only accept 1 application per research group, meaning that if you share staff between research groups, you need to make sure that there is only 1 research group with the same people or team members. Otherwise, it will not be accepted. And no consortia in this case for the first call. Who can apply are legal entities such as SME, startups, research centers, universities, non-governmental organizations and foundations that come and are legally established in EU member states and Horizon Europe associated countries. For those who are not familiar with these definitions, again, refer to the guidelines and you have a link and you will have like the whole list of which those associated countries are. I don't want to take too much time because I know most of you came here for the technical content. So I would open the floor for Akis, and I will stop sharing my screen so that you can share yours and just give you the space.
Okay. Very much. So you can see the correct screen?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
great. Okay, so thank you all very much. So as you might have seen from the general OpenCall presentation, PQ-React is supporting a set of 4 OpenCall pilots. Amongst them is the Context Agility Manager, which mainly focuses on post-quantum cryptography benchmarking. What is the objective of this pilot? It is to test and validate, apart from algorithms, post-quantum cryptography algorithms in services and apps that may use them, and to evaluate across different metrics from CPU to memory to power consumption to bandwidth to performance, preferably over a virtualized infrastructure that we will offer through our testbed in the OpenCall. This is the main role also of Demokritos in this OpenCall and pilot, where from our part we can offer access if needed and requested after the successful application is approved and validated, to run on our centralized network operations center for monitoring and remote connectivity support. The challenges that we would like to address is based on different post-quantum algorithms, mainly either NIST, not mainly, mostly NIST approved, on the algorithm diversity and complexity, and from those to evaluate these on different applications for resource consumption, CPU, memory, and power, to see the balance between performance metrics with security, so the different key lengths, the different calculation, the key exchange, and so on. What is also the virtualization overhead that these include in an infrastructure in a testbed. We will also provide a testbed and the tools for reliably and accurately monitor the power and all those different metrics, and potentially, based also on the application that the applicants will bring and the respective algorithms, to see how scalable and how it could be simulated or be applied in real world use cases. So the expected outcomes would be to see how the scalability and robustness testing, so test different post-quantum protocols under high traffic and large-scale conditions, to validate the performance of the security standards, then to analyze the energy efficiency, to evaluate it and optimize it in case that some application has it. Maybe we can also evaluate some hybrid approaches using both classical and post-quantum ones. This is also one very interesting and key objective we could, one application could explore. And some recommendations for energy efficient implementation. So maybe the switching, maybe a failover, maybe a fallover, and so on and forth on different applications for the post-quantum cryptography. Also, we would like to explore the interoperability with existing systems, since the baseline platform will offer provides seamless integration with protocols like CURL, HTTP, and Nginx. It's based on the LibQS platform and the QJATA, but more on that I will provide some details in the next slides. So to demonstrate the compatibility with the existing infrastructure. Also, this would also help us help and dictate the protocol-specific performance testing, so the performance metrics for post-quantum algorithms in widely used protocols, and also offer some maybe lessons, a lessons learned guide can be produced for practical guidelines for developers for different applications. So the infrastructure is based on Democritos virtualized infrastructure for testing, which we can offer connectivity between hosts for performance assessment for different virtual machines, but potentially also we can have also some small power raspberries at the edge. We can also offer that support. And the context agility manager, this tool is based on the QJATA project overview, the open source framework, which supports post-quantum cryptography protocol evaluation. And based on that, we have extended this tool to offer testbed for client-server performance metrics, both for the client and the server, in parallel for memory, CPU, connection time, and download speed, and can be available for the winning open call applicants with diverse objectives. So QJATA's Nginx and CURL mainly integrates some off-the-shelf quantum-safe algorithms within the Nginx web server and CURL command line, with some supported post-quantum algorithms of BIKE, FrodoChem, AES, SAKE, HQC, and Kyber. But hybrid approaches can combine both classical and quantum-safe algorithms based on the application, based on what you would like to explore. So the algorithm negotiation is being done during the TLS handshake, where QJATA's Nginx and CURL negotiate the use of post-quantum cryptography algorithms. The key exchange process in QJATA leverages algorithms such as Kyber and FrodoChem. And below you can see a very simplified diagram of a CURL client, which performs the transaction, the key exchange between the server and the client. Thus, we have extended this in the context awareness monitoring using also the open source tool of Telegraph, where you can retrieve the metrics, store them in InfluxDB, and also provide a diverse set of monitoring dashboards, where the metrics are collected from client and the server side using Python script and Telegraph. The metrics data are stored in the InfluxDB and displayed within the Grafana. We have also can provide some scripts for automation for the change of the algorithms and some different test scenarios, but this can be further investigated once the project starts. So this is an overview of the context awareness monitoring right now, of the dashboard, of what we offer, and how it looks like and what it can be collected and help. And apart from the remote connection and VPN access we can offer to our infrastructure, so provide infrastructure for you to deploy your applications. We also offer the support of the connectivity between some of your different applications or some different clients and entities that you want to deploy, while also providing the monitoring agents of some baseline metrics for you to measure and deduct some key performance metrics that you could explore and export. So this concludes my presentation. I think I was on time. Maybe we'll have also 5 minutes questions, or we can save the time and leave them all at the end, whatever you choose,
Yes.
Maya.
I would just ask you, maybe you can keep an eye on the chat, because there were 2 questions already, and just answer it there. And we would go to the next presentation because of the time, and then at the end, if we still have some time left, we can come back to those who are unanswered. Thank you, Akis.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so I would just like to check if Tobias is with us, because I know that he had some connectivity problems.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, perfect. Yes, okay. So I'll give the floor to you. to present the
Okay.
use case number 4. Thank you.
Okay. You can see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So let's start. So hello, good morning. My name is Tobias Köppel. I work at Focus, Fraunhofer Society in Berlin. And yeah, as ARCIS, we are part, or Democritus, we are also part of the PECO React EU project. I will talk today a little bit about Eclipse Qrisp for PQC. Well, as you all know, PQC stands for post-quantum cryptography. As ARCIS already mentioned, there are many problems, algorithms, mechanisms to address, for example, key encapsulation or digital signature algorithms. Related to that, there are a lot of interesting schemes and problems with associated mathematical problems, for example, RSA, where you have to factorize an integer, or other schemes are code-based encryption, lattice-based encryption, and multivariant equations, hash-based signatures, and so on. In the project we are offering, we are more focusing on lattice-based encryption signatures. But before I come to that, I want to present or say a few words about Eclipse Qrisp, which is a high level programming language based on Python developed by our institute. It is, as I said, built on Python, so quite easy to install. It has some nice features. For example, we introduced quantum variables, which saves a lot of work for the user. It's built in a modular way, compatible with many platforms. You can do automatic computation. You have arithmetic operations, and very important, you can, before you go to a real quantum backend, you can use a simulator to test your algorithms. Quantum variables are, as we know from standard programming languages, a float, bool, char, string, for example, but with the prefix quantum. A short example, this is on the left-hand side, you can see a small Qrisp program where we multiply two numbers A and B. Therefore, we introduce two quantum float variables. We multiply them, in this case, 3 and 4. And as in the quantum world, we receive, in this case, on a simulator with high probability, with probability 1/12. But what I wanted to show here is that using Qrisp, the code is very compact compared to the Qiskit equivalent code. What I have to, what I also said here is, so when you use the simulator, you really get the right result with probability 1. On real quantum backends, unfortunately, you can have many different results due to the noise problem that's arising in context of real quantum backends. Up to now, we hope that in the upcoming decades this will be solved. But using a simulator, as I said, you can simulate quantum circuits with more than 100 qubits. Therefore, in order to accomplish this, we use sparse matrices to store and process quantum states. Okay. If you're interested in Qrisp, here's a QR code, and here's the GitHub. We are now planning to create Qrisp 0.5, adding some more features like Hamiltonian simulation. That's the status right now on Qrisp. I can show you a short example. So we also implemented Shor's algorithm for small numbers. our results show, if you look at these graphs here, compared to other software, we were right here from 15 beginning on some numbers, and what we can show is in all of these graphs. So the graph for Qrisp, depending showing that we need a minimal T depth for our circuits, T counts, and the whole quantum circumdepth we also is in our case always the lowest one compared to other platforms. So this means we can, at least for a simulator, provide a very efficient implementation of, for example, Shor's algorithm. What we are investigating now is, and this could be also part of a possible project that you can do collaborating with us. This is implementing attackers for the ML-KLM scheme described in this NIST report here below. Probably you know that. Yeah, I don't go into details, but the basic problem is that we have two communicating parties, Alice and Bob, and they want to exchange a message, usually given as a byte vector of 32 bytes. And in this context, I skip some details here. What you have to solve in context to recover the encryption key or the secret key S is you have to solve over some modular equation, over some modular ring. This system of equation T equals A S plus E, where you only know T and A. E is unknown and S is our target that we actually want to recover. And the question is, how can you solve such an problem efficiently using quantum computers? Up to now, there is no efficient quantum algorithm for this problem. Yeah, and this problem is called WE, learning with error problems, and we're talking about lattice-based problems since our secret key S can be considered as a node in some lattice here, for example, a three-dimensional lattice. Yeah, the challenges are, as I said, the hardness of the mathematical problem. So you have a linear system of equations over a ring with a stochastic right-hand side. Also, the key size is challenging since with nowadays quantum computers, you can only do tests with small key sizes, and also with the simulator, the key size you can attack is limited. Furthermore, and this could be also a nice issue for a project, is how can I use side channel attacks, so leaks that you obtain in some way from a communication. How can you use this information to decrease the hardness of the mathematical problem? Yeah, for further reviewing, I listed here some papers, conference proceedings that you can study if you want to. Yeah. Here once again, here's the website for Pico React if you're further interested in this project. Yeah, that's all from my side.
Thank you, Tobias. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I see in the chat there is a lively conversation going on. So maybe Tobias also, you can keep an eye on that. But after my presentation, we will also have a bit of time. I think we're good on time. I appreciate it. So I will now present the platform so that you will know how to actually apply. For those of you who haven't yet created an account, I want you to keep in mind that you will have to, upon registration of your application profile, you will have to confirm your email. So sometimes it might be that it will go into spam folder. So please check that, because without validating your email, you will not be able to proceed with your application. And I will go. I hope you can see the website now and not my presentation. Can somebody just confirm that you see my screen as a...
Yes,
We
can
can
see your
see
screen.
it.
Perfect.
Yes.
So for those who haven't yet opened their application, how you can access it, it's on our official website. You have the tab Open Calls and the button Apply. In case you are interested in becoming an evaluator, you simply click this one and it will take you to the other subpage. You click this one and then you have basic information that we also presented today here. And then if you scroll all the way down, this part is very important for you and useful. You will have the open call documents, guidelines, and then submission pack, which includes also a template of application forms so that you can basically see what kind of questions we will be asking you. And then the FAQ document, which will be updated weekly, so that all the questions, also those who were asked today, will be kind of included there in the FAQ. And then you go and click the Apply Today, and it will take you to Accelerator app. And mind you, we are running simultaneous calls for different projects, so make sure that you are in the right one. So pick your React Open Call 1, you put the name of your company, and you start your application. Since I already have mine created, I will just jump on this one, and this will be the application form that will be visible to you when you open it. So on the left side, I think it's very useful that you keep an eye on it. It's kind of like a reference, and you will see all these exclamation marks, which I want you to pay attention to. But what I want to do first is just take you through the types of questions that you might come across, and then also some other useful advice that that will, support you in making your application process easier. The changes that you are doing are automatically saved, but I know some people have trust issues, and me included. So you also have a save button here, and you can always save in order to not lose the application answers. And also keep in mind that it's not necessary that you fill the application in one go. You will always find it in a draft. When you will save, it will be saved in a draft. So in case you need to go and find some certain information for the answers, you can always come back to it. So basically, you will have standard questions like, first name, last name with the text, and then numbers where it says put a number, don't put letter, put a number. Then you may come across a drop down. Just pick the one that applies to you. And then, for example, you will have questions that, in case this is the case for the countries, these countries are eligible, but in case yours is not here and you click other, another line will appear and you will be able to choose from here and just scroll down. And you can see all those exclamation marks on the left are disappearing while we are filling in the fields. So in the case of websites, I also want to point out that it will not accept the answer if you will put just www. So just go into the website and copy paste the whole form with HTTPS. I know these are details, but believe me, those details can be make or break of your application. We have experience with this. That's why we run these kind of info sessions. Then you will have questions such as apply or upload certain documents. Most of the documents we want them in PDF. In this case, it's JPEG because it's the logo. And in the case of logo, I advise you to choose a really good quality, because in case it will be one of the chosen use cases, we will also use it for promotional purposes. So it's nice to have representable photo of your logo. Then you will have questions like yes, no. In this case, it's in the legal eligibility self-declaration, and depending on which answer you choose, you will see that here it will also change. If you come from an SME, you will have a different question popping up or a sub-question popping up. So keep in mind that you answer all of the questions that appear. Pretty straightforward. In case of brackets with limited characters, I want to point out that you have the counter here, so pay attention. For example, I know you're really passionate about your project, but if you exceed the characters, it will not accept you and you will not be able to submit. So you will know, if you exceed, you will have to go and just minimize your or adapt your text. Again, drop-down question, pretty straightforward. And then there's another type of question that you will come across, which is in case of the implementation. So the team members, you simply click a button and add as many team members as there are going to be working with you. If you make a mistake, simply delete it and the world will still stand. And please keep in mind that if we ask for a PDF, then it should be PDF. It shouldn't be doc, it shouldn't be PowerPoint, it should be PDF. I think that's pretty straightforward. But we have seen a lot of cases where people simply don't follow the instructions, and this also might be make or break of your application. So I think those are pretty much the types of questions in this. Here we have also multiple answers, so you just click all the ones that apply to you. And then let's say hypothetically that you are happy with all the answers and you want to submit, and you are ignoring for whichever reason you are ignoring all these exclamation marks. And you want to submit, what will happen is you will have a helper, so to speak, and it will indicate how many questions are left to answer or to modify, meaning either you exceeded the character limit, either you put letter instead of number, and all these kind of cases, and you will always see what is the problem. So really pay attention to that. Otherwise you will not be able to submit. And once you fill everything correctly, basically you submit and you will get a confirmation email that you submitted the ID of your application, and then you wait for our feedback, which will be, well, it depends also when you will submit, but as I mentioned before, the deadline is 30th of September, and then from that time on, we will take 1 month approximately for the validation and evaluation. So you might want to have some patience with us. And the results, the official results, will be communicated around 6th of November, so beginning of November. At that time, you will get a notification again from the you need to pay attention to your email, because a lot of time it also happens that people just miss the email, and then 2 months after the end of evaluation, they are still coming to us, I didn't receive my result. But yeah, basically that's the whole game. I will stop sharing now. And I think we are pretty good on time. I'm very satisfied with this. This was basically from our side what we wanted to share with you. If there are any questions, now is the time. You can either write it in the chat. I think that would be really nice, because then we can also translate them into the FAQ document. But if you wish to speak, you can also turn on your microphone and address whoever you wish to address. I think in the chat we have all the answers already, or questions already answered, right, Christine? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect. Okay. So is there anybody else who has any questions? It can either be the technical question or about the application, about eligibility criteria and things like that. Don't be shy. That's why we are here. Wow, I think based. I see
have one.
hand.
Yeah, I have one
Yep.
question. Is it possible to submit 2 proposals for each, like one for, because there's like these 2 different calls, or not calls, but I guess cases.
No, because like if you come from an SME or startup, then you can only apply once. So you need to choose whether you apply for one or the other.
Okay.
We have another question for the context agility manager. Does this need to be fully built on Kujata? I think Akis, this one is for you.
Yes. No. Apparently, I mean, we offer some infrastructure that we have built upon, and which is pretty abstract, pluggable, and generic. So we are flexible on that. We are not written in stone to be on Kujata.
Thank you, Akis. Any more questions? You can, if there are going to be any questions rising up after this call, feel free to just send us an email. I will share again the presentation so that you can see. So it's applications@ptreact.eu, and we try to answer as soon as possible. So you will get the answer, and it will also be included then in the FAQ, as I mentioned before. Any other questions? If not, then I will not take more of your time, but I would really like to thank everybody, from those who attended and those who presented. I hope this was a useful session for you, and I hope to see much more applications in the coming days to be submitted. I would like to thank everybody for coming, and I wish you a pleasant rest of the week.
Thank you very much, Maya, for organizing.
Yeah, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye bye.